Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And on today's episode, I want to talk about Cason Wallace and why I think if Kentucky has any hopes, any dreams, any aspirations of going to the Final Four, it's going to all basically boil down to how far Cason can carry them, right? Now, listen, I know what everybody's thinking. Oscar Tshiebwe's the man on this team, right? Oscar Tshiebwe's the National Player of the Year. Oscar Tshiebwe is one of the most legendary players at Kentucky, or at least he'll end his career that way. He's a walking double-double. He is probably going to be in the running for Player of the Year this year. But ultimately, I think it all boils down to Cason Wallace. And this is the reason why I'll say this, right? I'm going to compare Cason Wallace to Dwayne Wade. And not the college Dwayne Wade, the one that actually destroyed Kentucky's hopes of going to the Final Four when he scored like 30 points on us and knocked us out of the tournament. But I'm talking about the NBA version, I believe the 06 Miami Heat version of Dwayne Wade that pretty much put the Heat on his shoulders after they went down 0-2 to the Dallas Mavericks in the final, and he carried them to 4 straight victories in the franchise's first NBA championship. And the reason why I'm making this comparison is because I think Cason Wallace overall is the best pro prospect on this team. I think he's the player that has the capability to take his game up to another level. I'm not really sure if anybody on this team is going to play a whole lot better than they have been playing. I know that we just seen Antonio Reeves break out of his shell and have 27 points a night, but I don't know if consistently he can give you those type of numbers. The one person that I believe can take his game up another notch is Cason Wallace. I believe Cason Wallace, if in order for Kentucky to win, to have a deep run in the tournament, potentially Final Four, potentially a national championship, I think Cason Wallace would have to ultimately take over the team. He would have to be the team's driving force on defense, on offense. He would have to be able to get the ball in his hands and say every night he's going to get 20 to 23 points a game, along with 7-8 assists every single night. And I think he's capable if he's just willing to be more aggressive. I know it's hard because he's a freshman. I know he's playing with the returning National Player of the Year. He may not feel comfortable taking over the team, but if in order for them to win, in order for them to be effective, he's the one that's got to step up. He's the one that's got to take over the team, like in the way some of the other top Calipari point guards did, like a Derrick Rose at Memphis, like John Wall, like a Tyler Ulis, like Brandon Knight. You know, these guys, he's got to be able to take over the team and tell the team, look, I'm the best player and I'm going to carry you guys as far as I can carry you. And the rest of the team has got to be willing to accept that and be willing to feed off of him. He's got to be in attack mode at all times, like the way Dwayne Wade was in the finals. Dwayne Wade raised his numbers up. He took his game to another level. And I think in the college game, Cason is the player on this team that can take his game up to another level. I don't think Cason Wallace is holding back. I think he's just trying to do what the coach is telling him to do. I think he's trying to get his teammates involved, trying to be a selfless player. But I think in order for him to win, Cason Wallace is going to have to turn into a demon on the court. He's going to have to be the vocal leader. He's going to have to be the aggressor on defense and on offense. He's going to have to live in attack mode. He's going to have to be trying to make plays every single time he gets the basketball in his hands. He's going to have to be driving. He's going to be having to take pull-up jumpers. He's going to be having to do floaters. He's going to have to be making drop-off assists. He's going to have to be penetrating and kicking out for threes. I think if they give the ball to Cason and he takes total control of the team and he decides every night he's going to get 20 points, 6 assists, maybe 2 steals, I believe they have a shot to make a run in the tournament. But if he's not willing to do that, I'm not really for sure how far this team can actually go. I love all the rest of the players. I think they've all had great moments this year. I think Reeves had an excellent game tonight. I think Oscar Sheboy is an excellent player. I think Toppin is capable of having amazing games. He showed us a few this season. I think eventually CJ Frederick will become a better jump shooter when his hand heals. I think Severe Wheeler is playing better now that he's eased into his backup role. I think Livingston has potential. I think all of these things are true, but I think in order for them to be a top-notch championship contending team, Cason Wallace is going to have to take over this team. He may have to piss a couple players off. He may have to tell his coaches, it's my team now, and I'm going to take us to the championship. He's going to have to do it the same way that some of these other top-notch point guards, like I said, that we've had have done it. You know, I left out De'Aaron Fox. Like, you got to be he has to become a dynamic point guard the way that these guys were if we're going to have any hope of going far in this tournament. And I think Cason Wallace is capable of doing it. I think he can go mini Dwayne Wade, Kentucky's version of Dwayne Wade. I think he's going to have to. I don't know how severe his leg injury is. Hopefully it's just a little minor setback. They just decided to keep him out since they figured that they could potentially beat Mississippi without him. And fortunately for us that we did. Hopefully he'll be back in the next game or two. But I believe that it all falls on Cason. Cason is going to be the one that is capable, the one that has to be willing. He's going to have to take over this team and decide he's going to put him on his back and carry him to the Final Four. And Cason, I definitely think you are capable of doing it. I just want you to just get in attack mode. I want you to be aggressive. I don't want you to worry about, shooting too much. Like, it's time for you to become a playmaker and become the dynamic point guard that all the Big Blue Nation is waiting for you to become. But anyways, I'll wrap it up right there. You guys let me know if you agree with my take on that. I think it's time for Cason to become Dwayne Wade Jr. in a Kentucky uniform. But you let me know what you think about it and what you think are keys to successfully reaching the Final Four are. Or let me know if you think there's not a shot in hell that we get to the Final Four. But anyways, we'll get back at it next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.